So let's talk about this incredible Mesopotamian myth. Imagine this, a powerful queen, totally isolated, ruling over the land of the dead. And then, out of nowhere, two very different gods from the world above decide to drop in. And what happens next? Well, it pretty much changes the divine order forever. First, let's get our bearings. We're in a place called Kernugi, and they call it the land of no return for a very good reason. This isn't just some spooky afterlife, you know. It's a full-on kingdom with its own laws, ruled by the formidable Queen Ereshkigal. And that name, it's a promise. Once you're in, you are not coming out. But, rules are sometimes made to be broken. So despite this absolute rule, two major gods, one right after the other, make this incredibly dangerous journey down into her realm. They both cross that line into the world of the dead, but believe me, how it goes for each of them couldn't be more different. And that's really the big question we're tackling here. Why does Queen Ereshkigal punish one of these divine visitors with 60 diseases, but then turns around and offers the other one her hand in marriage and a share of her throne? The answer, it turns out, is all about how you approach the Queen of Death. So let's get to know this queen a little better. Her name is Ereshkigal, and she's the powerful older sister of Ishtar, the famous goddess of love and war. But here's the thing. While Ishtar gets to travel around freely, Ereshkigal is stuck. She is literally bound to her dark kingdom, totally isolated and completely untouchable. And the rules separating her world from the worlds of the gods? They are incredibly strict. She can't go up. They can't come down. Period. The only link between these two worlds is one single messenger who brings her a piece of the annual feast. And even this guy has to pass through 7 heavily guarded gates just to get to her. Talk about high security. So visitor number 1 is Ereshkigal's own sister, Ishtar. But let me tell you, this is not a friendly family reunion. Ishtar shows up at the gates of the underworld, and she's not knocking politely. She's acting like an invader, demanding to be let in, and even threatening to smash the doors down if they don't open up for her. So, Ereshkigal lets her in. But there's a catch. A big one. See, at every single one of those 7 gates, Ishtar is forced to give up something, an item of her power, a piece of her divinity, her crown, her jewelry, her royal clothes. One by one, everything is taken away until she's standing completely naked and totally powerless right in front of her sister's throne. And if you think that's bad, the humiliation is just getting started. Ereshkigal, seeing her rival totally humbled, just looks at her servant, Namtar, and orders him to unleash 60, that's right, 60 different diseases on Ishtar. We're talking head to toe, afflicting her eyes, her arms, her feet, even her heart. Now, here's the problem for the world above. Ishtar is the goddess of fertility. So with her trapped down there, everything on Earth just stops. No crops grow, animals don't mate, no babies are born. The whole system grinds to a halt. This is a cosmic emergency, and it forces the other gods to step in and basically beg Ereshkigal to let her go. But Ereshkigal isn't just going to bend the rules. She's firm. The #1 law of Kernugi, the land of no return, is that it demands a soul for a soul. If Ishtar is going to leave, somebody else has to take her place. And this is where you really see Ishtar's true colors. Who does she pick to take her spot? She chooses her own lover, the young shepherd god Dumuzi. To save her own skin, she condemns the man she supposedly loves to the underworld. It's just a cold, selfish move, and it really sets the stage for our next visitor. All right, now let's switch gears and meet our second visitor. His name is Nergal, a seriously powerful god, but his trip to the underworld starts not because he's ambitious, but because he made a huge mistake. He publicly dissed Ereshkigal's messenger, which is like dissing the queen herself. So, to prevent an all-out war between the gods, they send him down to say he's sorry. Okay, let's hit pause for a second and just look at the difference here. You have Ishtar, who comes in like an invader, gets stripped of all her power, and is hit with a plague. Then you have Nergal. He's coming to apologize. He's welcomed right through the gates, nothing taken from him, and Ereshkigal even offers him food and a place to sit. It's totally clear. Their intentions completely changed their reception. But Nergal doesn't just wander in blind. The god of wisdom, Ea, gives him a very specific list of rules for how to survive down there. And the gist is basically accept nothing. Don't sit in their chairs, don't eat their food, don't drink their beer. The idea is if you take anything from the underworld, you become a part of it. And of course, the biggest warning of all, whatever you do, do not fall for the queen's charms. So Nergal gets there, and at first, he's a model guest. He does exactly what Ea told him. Ereshkigal offers him a seat, food, drink, and he politely refuses everything. He's respectful, but he keeps his distance. He's handling this tricky situation like a pro. But then, Ereshkigal changes her strategy. She decides to go take a bath and lets him, well, catch a glimpse of her. And just like that, in a single moment, every single one of Ea's warnings just flies out the window. Nergal completely gives in to his desire, and they end up spending 6 straight days and nights together. But on the 7th day, reality hits. Nergal remembers he has a job to do and tells her he has to leave and report back to the gods. You can imagine how Ereshkigal feels. She's not just mad, she's completely heartbroken. This queen, who has been alone for so long, finally found someone she connected with, an equal, and then he just leaves. Her sadness very quickly turns into a white-hot rage that literally threatens to tear the universe apart. And she gives the gods an ultimatum, and it is one of the most terrifying threats in all of mythology. She says, "If you do not send Nergal back to me, I will raise the dead from their graves, and I will let them swarm the earth until they outnumber the living." I mean, think about that. Her personal heartbreak is about to undo all of creation. So the gods try to hide Nergal, but that doesn't work for long. He's found out. Cornered, he doesn't even wait for them to send him back. He decides to take charge. He storms back down that long staircase to Carnegie, but this time, he's not going down there to apologize. This time, he's not waiting for an invitation. He doesn't knock. He shatters every single one of those 7 gates. He marches right into the throne room, grabs a shocked Ereshkigal by her hair, and literally rips her from her own throne. I mean, it looks like he's there for a violent takeover, the complete opposite of his first trip. But then, right in that moment, when it looks like he's won, with the queen completely at his mercy, he laughs, and she looks up at him, and they both just start to cry. It wasn't about conquest at all. It was a reunion. It was this passionate, dramatic return to the one person who could match his own fire. And when Ereshkigal sees this raw power, this passion, she doesn't see an enemy trying to overthrow her. She sees her equal. So she makes him an offer. She says, "Don't just be my lover, be my husband. You will be king over this whole land, and I'll even give you the tablet of wisdom." In his aggression, she didn't find a threat. She found the perfect partner to rule alongside her. So what does this all mean? It leaves us with a pretty cool question, doesn't it? Ishtar saw the underworld as a place she needed to conquer, and for that, she was trapped. But Nergal, through a combination of respect, then passion, and then sheer force, he actually saw the queen, and because of that, he was invited to rule. So maybe these myths are telling us that the underworld isn't just some prison for the dead. Maybe it's a powerful kingdom that was just waiting for the right king, a king who was worthy of its powerful queen.